Hi there guys and welcome to Dinos Vault once again. As promised, today I review the Honda Navi. First up, talking about the pronunciation of the word Navi. Some call it Navi, some call it Navi, but I think it should be pronounced as Navi, which is a Hindi word which means new, because this bike introduces not just an affordable product but a whole new culture and a completely different dimension to the Indian two-wheeler market. To be honest, we cannot say India is completely alien to this concept because we have witnessed a mini bike before in the form of Rajdoot Bobby GTS, a 173cc bike with a max power of 7.5 bhp that came mated to a 3-speed gearbox. You can Google the same to check out its images. Just like the Bobby bike, I won't be surprised if the Navi enjoys a mega cult following and introduces a brand new lifestyle among the two-wheelers here in our nation. To describe this bike in one sentence, I would say it is unlimited fun being offered at an unbelievable price. This bike, in my opinion, is going to revolutionize the way people travel here in India. Though Honda is targeting mainly the youth with this bike, I believe people of all ages would be more than eager to swing their leg over this fun little package. I mean, it is just pure unadulterated fun, or we can say a whole new definition of unlimited fun and a complete step away from convention. It surely is inspired by Honda's Grom, spelled as GROM. The Grom bikes from Honda are available in the international market. Although Grom bikes are proper 125cc motorcycles with compact dimensions, the Navi is kind of a perfect blend of a scooter and a bike. We get the amazing convenience of the automatic transmission of a scooter combined with the thrilling design dynamics of a motorcycle. This is what makes the Navi so unique and so special. I noticed some people dismissing it as a toy bike, etc. at the dealership. Let me tell you guys that Honda know the Indian market inside out, and when they are brave enough to introduce something completely out of the ordinary, you can be rest assured that this is going to be a blockbuster hit. Trust me, all you need is one ride on this bike to get hooked. You would never ever want to get off of this bike. The affordability and pricing is so insane that you wouldn't mind buying this as your second bike just to have fun on the streets. My good friend, fellow YouTuber and moto vlogger Zohair Ahmed has already booked one for himself. Such is the amount of fun and energy this bike promises. Now, taking a look at its design, the headlamp is highly inspired by that of the Grom bike. The headlamp looks nice and striking with the matte silver housing. The telescopic front forks and well edged out front mudguard look nice and sporty. Coming to the profile, one might think that it looks a bit weird, but please do bear in mind that Honda is going to have loads of add-ons and custom options. There is no official word on when the custom themes that we saw at the Auto Expo, like the Adventure model, the Enduro model, the Street model, etc., would be introduced. But I guess some of them mentioned in their official site, as you can see in this pic here, like the luggage box, the side cover, the seat cover, the underguard, headlight protector, suspension cover, etc., should be available soon. The plastic panels that run across the body give the bike a unique and peppy appearance. The prominent round exhaust is slightly angled upwards to give it a sleeker and sporty look. The rear monoshock along with the rear tire hugger lend the bike a new age and radical look. The tail lamp assembly resembles that of the Stunner but goes well with this design too. The seat is neatly laid out. It offers decent room for two average size adults. The tank again looks quite sporty. We get a 3.8 liter fuel tank and there is an additional cover for the fuel lid, which is great. The switchgear is not bad considering its price, but we don't even get a high beam flasher, let alone the engine kill switch. We do, however, get the regulation handbrake found on other scooters. When engaged, this prevents the scooter from rolling backwards if you happen to park your bike on inclines. The speedo again is very basic and the least interesting element in this entire design concept. We get an analog speedo and odometer. We also get the economy speed range highlighted in green between 30 to 50 kilometers per hour. You need to ride within the speed range to extract maximum fuel efficiency from this bike. Now, since this gets the same Activa 3G engine, let's do a quick comparo between the Navi and the Activa. The Navi is longer and wider than the Activa. The Navi's wheelbase is longer by 48 mm when compared to that of the Activa. Engine specs wise, both get the same 110cc engine with HET or Honda Eco technology. Both put out the same power, but the Navi puts out slightly more torque when compared to that of the Activa. That might be because the Navi is 7 kgs lighter than the Activa. Seat height is the same at 765 mm for both of them. Ground clearance is 3 mm more for the Navi at 156 mm. Navi gets a 12-inch front tire and a 10-inch rear tire, whereas Activa gets 10 inches at both ends. Navi gets telescopic suspension up front, whereas the Activa doesn't. Fuel tank capacity is 3.8 liters for the Navi, whereas it is 5.3 liters for the Activa. Now, setting aside the comparo, let's look at the engine specs for the Navi. Powering the Navi is the same 110cc engine from Activa that puts out a max power of 7.83 bhp at 7000 rpm and 8.96 newton meters of torque at 5500 rpm. It gets the same V-matic automatic transmission, which really makes this a feast to ride in the city. Taking this cute little monster out for a spin, I had so much fun that I cannot describe the experience in mere words. I call it a monster because the amount of fun that can be had on this bike is monstrous and huge. It puts a smile on your face the moment you start riding it, and the smile never wears off unless you run out of fuel. The seat is nice and comfortable. The raised handlebar and the perfectly set rider foot pegs give you one of the most comfortable riding postures in our market currently. The engine is nice and peppy. I'm a huge fan of the Activa 3J engine for the sheer pickup and amazing refinement levels it offers. This one is even better because the Navi is around 7 kgs lighter. It pulls cleanly even with a pillion on board. It feels perfectly balanced. Flickability is at its utmost best. Tubeless tires and maintenance-free battery are an added advantage too. The Navi gets HET or Honda Eco technology as well, which offers a perfect blend of economy and performance. Talking about the brakes, we get 130mm drum brakes at both ends and braking is decent enough. Talking about the suspension setup, we get telescopic suspension up front and spring-loaded hydraulic suspension at the rear. The front suspension is quite impressive, but the rear suspension is on the stiffer side. You do feel all the bumps on the road because of the stiffer rear shock. Mileage claim is around 60 kmpl. As I mentioned earlier, we need to ride within the economy speed range to get closer to that figure. You can also go through my mileage tips link mentioned in the description portion below. Price ex-showroom Hyderabad is around rupees 41,600, which makes it an absolute steal. So that's pretty much it for now. I just hope you found this video useful. Until next time, this is Dinos saying ciao. Take care, God bless, and ride safe.